Hi, I'm Brickroad. It's July 3rd, and people are popping off fireworks outside, which is causing my puppy to go crazy in her crate in the other room. And the world is being ravaged by coronavirus, and also I just saw Hamilton for the first time tonight. So if I inexplicably break out into song, we now know the reason why. I will endeavor to see that not happen, if possible. We just lost our ship, which is too bad. But we have something we can do to get some wings back. What I want to do first, though, is go through all my characters. I want to try to get the highest magic defense I can get. And it looks like we're going to try it on Galuf as a blue mage because he has the highest hit point total. What we're going for here, if I can swing it, we can go to 10. I can get him up to 13 with some of this stuff here. And I've got a coral sword, which is kind of nice. Alright, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get as much magic defense as I can on the most survivable person, so when we get back to the desert, I can try to get Aqua Breath. The rest of these nerd holes, I think I'm happy just straight up. Black Mage cannot equip. Oh, we have both the Elementals spoken for. Okay, that's why. That's fine. I'd rather this happen, though, if you don't mind. Okay. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and give you the Coral Sword. We'll give you a shield. And let's stay at the inn real quick, because we are pretty damaged at the moment. I think this is the highest magic defense we're going to be able to swing. If we can't get Aqua Breath with this magic defense, I don't think it's going to happen until we get a few more levels, which is too bad, because the very next major boss fight we have to face is a pushover with Aqua Breath and kind of a pain in the booty without it. Sorry about talking about my booty so frankly, but you know, as a 21st century American man, I do so cherish the booty. We gotta push through a lot of story stuff, though. First thing we're gonna do is try to capture this teleporting Black Chocobo. Okay, we got him. But the Black Chocobo can't fly, because his belly is full of what I have to imagine is like a semi-acidic, masticated crystal shard slurry. But it's okay, because Faris is going to make the Black Chocobo vomit out the other two crystal shards. I have rolled my Earth job. I just did that a few moments ago. I'm not going to look at it until the time in the game where I will get access to the Earth Crystal. Which means I'm going to try to get to the end of the first world in this video. Shouldn't be that difficult. All of the bosses we have between now and then, except for one, have pretty solid blue or black magic responses. In fact, the first thing we're going to do is fly down here and pop a save right here. I do want to try to keep one person no higher than level 16 by the time I get to our next like major dungeon, because there is a blue magic spell I'd like to get. You can go ahead and Romeo's Ballad for the stop, why not? And let's just try to kill some of these nerds. Oh, you can't black anybody. Can't do it. Alright, go ahead and arrow then. But these black flames will teach us our next blue magic spell. So I don't want them to die just yet. I would like them to die at some point, though. But notice how they're not acting. That is the power of Romeo's Ballad. Beautiful, beautiful things are happening here. Romeo's Ballad puts stop on all opposition, so pretty much all we have to do now is sit and wait for this thing to use its spell. We gotta wait for stop to wear off first. That's fine. There it is. It did not hit a blue mage, though. I mean, she doesn't have learning is the problem. Hit Galuf. I need that to hit Galuf, is what we need. Galuf has the highest magic defense right now. I should probably have put on learning on my black mages before setting out to this endeavor. In fact, we will do that right now. Yeah, you know, these black mages don't need the blue command because they can always just cast their black magic spells. I don't know why I gave them the blue command to begin with. I mean, we might need it for some boss fights later, but I can always kind of just Johnny on the spot when I need to. But yeah, Dark Spark is going to be a very, very useful spell. It will cut the enemy's level in half, and there are a few bosses on whom that will actually work, inexplicably. But I don't want these Harvesters to get the best of me yet. Although, I think these Harvesters, these monsters will sometimes, I believe, drop a Doom Scythe, which is an axe-style weapon. Equipable by Berserkers that can inflict instant death, which is one of the few saving graces of Berserkers. If you happen to roll one. That's not what I wanted to happen. Alright, alright. How many more Thundaras we got left? Alright, I'm only about halfway through my magic points. We're going to have to single target Thundaras to take the Harvesters down. This fight's not going to do it for me, is it? See, that sickle move, that's what I don't want to have happen to me. And the bio soldiers are even worse, actually. I don't have a good way to heal here, so Faris, you're just going to have to tough it out, my friend. Nope. Let's get out of there. The bio soldiers cast bio, which is an extremely powerful magic that we just probably couldn't survive right now. And now we're never going to see the Black Flames ever again. We've seen our last Black Flame, kids. They're gone forever. I'm not actually trying to go for a full full blue magic list. I'll take it if I can get it. But there are some blue magic spells you'll just never cast. Is the some of the blue magic spells are just so good that there's no reason to ever cast other ones. Like, getting the full blue magic set just doesn't make a lot of sense unless that's the actual style of run you want to go for. Unless you're going for just a completionist style run. In which case, knock yourself out. There's also a new Bard song we're going to need to get here before too much longer. Alright, now when Darkspark hits any of these three mages, we'll be laughing to the bank. Watch it hit Forest 4 times in a row now. That should do it. That's all we need to do. Forest can get out of here, and we can Thundara and then go home. Alright. So yeah, we can fly our Black Chocobo. There's a couple places we can go. I'm not sure if we can get into the village of Licks right now. If we can, it's down here somewhere. In these mountainous areas. Actually, I can check my map, can't I? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's right near here. Here we go. No, that's the Wind Shrine, so Licks is up here. This is Bart's hometown. And we're not going to check any of the cutscenes or anything here. What I want to do... You know, I'm not going to stay at the end. That's just kind of a waste of money. We want to make sure we don't accidentally talk to anybody. We have to find Bart's old house. There's a music box we can play. Oh, we are going to have to watch this scene, though, I guess. We do have to watch this story scene, but this song is actually incredibly important. It's almost as good as Romeo's Ballad. In some cases, it actually works better than Romeo's Ballad. But the prize for sitting through this cutscene, which is very sad, were Bart's, as a young boy with green hair, for whatever reason. His daddy leaves home, and then his mommy dies. And that's the sad, sad story of Bart's childhood. And we never do get the origin of Dorgan's mustache, unfortunately. Lousy absent fathers. Yeah, she's dead. She just collapsed on the other side of the room. And I guess he still goes off to fight monsters, and then Bart's just owns the house now. And somehow later in life, he climbed his way out of this mountainous valley, where these people live, and went on a grand adventure with the love of his life, a chocobo. Okay, so now this bard gives us the Alluring Air Bard Song, which will confuse opponents. Depending on what we roll for our final job, may or may not be necessary to get through one of the boss fights. Well, we'll be back here if we roll White Mage. We could have got a free copy of that in the Burning Castle if I hadn't completely bungled that nonsense. Meanwhile, I don't think there's anything in these shops we want, is there? We do want to buy some Phoenix... Oh, we can't buy Phoenix Downs here. They don't sell us Phoenix Downs. Everything here is like half price because these dudes love Bart's. If we get Ninja with our fourth job, we might buy some stuff there. A Ninja suit. The thing is, right now, Galuf has equipped the Sage's Surplus, which increases his magic defense. And I think that's what we want him to stay with. We're going to science that in a minute, but first we need to go... Well, I mean, we just left the library a few minutes ago, and we're like, hey, we're going to go explore the whole world and find out some stuff. We'll be back later. And then we're going to roll up later and be like, oh, the ocean ate our boat. And they're going to be like, that's no problem. You can go across the desert. We'll be like, okay. So the idea is, in order to get to the south, where King Tycoon, who is on the loose, has apparently been spotted, we've got to go through this big desert of shifting sands. So the only way to do that is to fight the sandworm. And the sandworm is a real bastard of a time with some parties. Sandworm is a roadblock. In fact, one of the optional settings you can have for the Fiesta is called Berserker Risk. And it is a charity event, so they do collect money for charities. And the way it works is every X dollars, they put another Berserker into the Berserker Risk pool. And now I'm gonna go... I gotta just see if Galuf can survive Aqua Breath. We'll just see how it goes. We'll see what it's like. Well, that's already not good. I don't know what kind of damage these people like, but I mean, we're just off on a fact-finding mission for the moment. We're not actually trying to kill this thing. Although I could if I wanted. I think I could hit it with Deathclaw, maybe? But if Aqua Breath does less than 354 damage to Galuf, I think we might be in good shape. That was definitely not good. That's definitely not what we want to see. How dare they improperly science it? Oh, you know, I can just reset, I guess. I just saved outside. We'll just reset. Instead of walk all the way back to the pot, then walk all the way back to the desert. If we can't get this spell now, we're just going to have a slightly tougher fight against the Sandworm boss. That's all that means. That's all that means. Here goes. Alright, Galuf, how you do? How you do, man? 13 magic defense. Hey, you know what? I think we're in good shape here. So we're gonna... Blizzara. We did just barely survive that. And Galuf should always survive that and be able to Vampire. I guess it's because those Sage's surpluses we bought. We bought those in Jakul last video. That was before the previous time we tried to fight this Chimera. That has to be it, right? And now we're going to dodge its critical attacks. I actually don't mind if Galuf is the only survivor of this fight. I guess we're going to Era now. Getting him a couple levels, or even just one level ahead of everybody else, will serve us better when we go to learn some more, like, math magic later. By math magic, what I mean is magic that hits targets based on the multiple of their level. You knew what I meant. You knew what the math magic meant. We are also going to have to pick up a bunch of Phoenix Downs at some point. I don't think there's much else to buy in this world unless we want to try to get... In Istari Village, they sell some magic rings that defend against certain kinds of attacks. We're going to be able to get those again in World 3. I'm trying to think if there's anywhere in World 2 I want them. And I don't think so. Let me check my blue magic list here. Nope, we're good for a while. So I'm going to give you blue. And I'm going to give you blue. This way we can just Aqua Breath this next boss completely into submission. Let's go. Yeah, that went pretty well. The Sage's surplices are exactly what we needed there. Not interested in fighting any of these, just rando overworld encounters. I think what I want to do is just leave Faris as a bard until she masters it. It's one of the easiest classes to master in terms of you only need like 195 ability points total, I think. And then we can just turn her into a blue mage or a blue mage for the rest of the game with Sing. Sing is just universally good. It's always going to be nice having somebody with Sing. Having two singers in the party is kind of always going to happen when you roll Bard in the Fiesta, because you've got your natural Bard, you have to have one character set as a Bard. And then you have your secondary Bard, who's already mastered the job, that can already sing. So this should either take 1 or 2 hits. But this boss has a heavy weakness to the water elements, and we have one of the few attacks in the game that is straight up water damage. So we'll just send Faris out to the hills, and here comes Aqua Breath. Two of them. Oh, never mind, only one of them. The way this fight is coded makes it a little strange, because there's actually... Let me see if I get this right, because if I don't get this right, if I don't explain this correctly, I'm going to get corrected in the comments, I'm sure. But the sandworm pops in and out of those holes. What it appears is happening is the sandworm is disappearing down into a hole and coming up from another hole later on. If you accidentally target a hole, it retaliates with a gravity spell. And I'm going to Aqua Breath my whole way through here. Everything in the desert should just be really weak to this spell. The way they actually coded it, though, is that any time there's one sandworm entity and 2 just dummied out entities that aren't targetable, But in some versions of the game, I don't know if it's in this version or not, actually, but in some versions of the game, enemies that aren't targetable, for example, those have been dummied out, that you're not supposed to be able to select as a valid target for any attack, can be attacked by anything that like targets something random. For example, a Berserker's base attack doesn't target something normal, it picks a random entity in the battle to target instead. So in the Sandworm fight, your Berserker is going to go just absolutely ham, attacking not only the holes in the battle, which will retaliate with the gravity spell, but will also, you're already out of Aqua Breath. Fine, we'll move on to yours then. But also target those dummied out entities. So there's not really, it looks like there's 3 valid targets, Hole, and Sandworm, but there's actually 6 at any given time, because the Sandworm itself has a dummied entity, and I don't know which way I need to go here, so we're just going to kind of go in circles. The Sandworm itself is one entity. The 2 visible holes are entities 2 and 3. You're out of MP. And then the Sandworm and both holes also have dummied versions of themselves. When a Sandworm appears in a spot, you have to dummy out the hole that it appears on top of. And when a Sandworm vanishes from a spot, you have to dummy out the Sandworm enemy that appears on top of that hole. If that, by dummy out, what I mean is, like, it still kind of exists in the code, but you can't see it on screen. That's all I mean by dummied out. The entity is still there. The monster is still there. But because it's looking at 3 Sandworm entities, in order to, I'm not going to waste Aqua Breath for one of these, I don't think. No, certainly not. No, thank you, sir. Alright, fine. You actually want it. He actually wants it. Can I save a couple of MPs at least? But anyway, what that means is the Sandworm still has to die when you run out of 0 hit points, but the... I don't know if Frost is going to work very well on this thing. We'll try it. But what that means is, when there's 3 Sandworm entities that might appear, and they all have a hit point total, but the game has to do an additional check that it usually doesn't have to do. This is not the proper way to go. I just have to admit this to myself, that this is not the proper area to be in. I don't want to run from these fights. So there's an extra check. Usually you just check. If monster's HP equals 0, get rid of the monster. But in that Sandworm fight, there's an additional check. You have to be like, okay, well, we can't just count the Sandworm's HP because we have 3 copies of that Sandworm, and you might be hitting each one of them multiple times. So we have to keep some bit somewhere set to the Sandworm's HP value as it swaps around. I am very... Oh, no, down here. This is the way. Haha, we made it. Anyway, that's why I did a bunch of damage to that Sandworm, but it didn't die right away. Because that individual Sandworm's entity had not been reduced to 0 hit points, but I had dealt enough damage to make the game check and say, oh, this is how much HP the Sandworm quote-unquote has. That's how I think the Sandworm is programmed, and the way I say that is because reports of Berserker Risk in Final Fantasy V 4-Job Fiesta, usually, if you roll multiple Berserkers, that fight, especially on the SNES version of the game, where you have 6 targets your Berserker might hit, becomes just a horrible, horrible slog. I don't know who still has MPs here. Maybe no one. Maybe no one has MPs anymore. Nope, no one does. I wonder if I should use up one of my precious ethers here. That gets me a couple more Aqua Breaths. And that's why Sandworm is such a pain in the butt. Now, it's holes. If you hit the hole instead of the Sandworm, it retaliates with a gravity attack. Gravity attacks in Final Fantasy V deal damage based on your total hit points. For example, it might cut your hit points in half. So the Berserker problem here is it doesn't really matter how high a level your Berserker is, they're always, always, always going to take 50% damage from that gravity attack. The gravity attacks also inflict HP leak, which means you lose HP slowly over time. So Berserker in that fight is just a liability. So the prevailing... you know what? I can't Aqua Breath these guys anymore. The prevailing wisdom is if you go to the Sandworm fight, you kill your Berserkers first. That's just the way to do it. Now that I know I can survive this, I mean, kind of can survive it. Thank you. I kind of don't care about my hit point total right now. We're going to get a refill pretty soon down here. This is the city surrounded by mountains that made me pontificate in the previous video whether or not Jakul was surrounded by mountains. And of course it's not. You can reach it by boat. It's the city of Gone, the town of ruin. And within the city of Gone is the ghosts of King Tycoon. And we're going to follow that blue-robed bastard all over the joint. We do find out later that Spoilers is not actually King Tycoon. It's like a mirage created by X-Death to lure you around. Also, I think like the Ruin graphics here never get used anywhere else in the game. They look really nice, I think. But I don't think this tile set exists elsewhere in the game. You would think they'd try to get a little bit more mileage out of it. So part of the lore of the world, as far as I'm aware, is you have the Ronkin civilization. The Ronkins existed on the planet, a civilization that existed, I don't know, in antiquity at some point. And they had, you know the drill. They had vast magic, technology, etc. This is also the scene where Faris finally admits to being Lena's sister. Oh, they're finally reunited after all these years. But kind of interesting is that that's all we ever learn about the Ronkin civilization is there was a Ronkin civilization. That's it. That is the extent of our knowledge of these people. For some reason, Galuf can hear us talking about him in that little room, but we wouldn't have been able to hear him, I guess? I don't know. You would think he would just shout, like, hey man, what are y'all trying to do? Leave without me? Ain't cool, brah. So, we sailed in a boat to an island where our ship sank, where by sheer coincidence, the two crystal shards that... Oh, the only island in the world that has black chocobos on it, by the way. And also, by sheer coincidence, the place where our two extra crystal shards got blown from the exploding Karnak castle, okay? So we flew that black chocobo back and then crossed the desert to get to Gone, which just happened to have a teleportation device that just happens to take us back to that island that we just were at. Because Final Fantasy V's entire storyline is made up entirely out of just sheer plot spackle and coincidence. That's all it is. If you're going to take like a writer's class on how to write JRPGs like Final Fantasy V, plot spackle and sheer coincidence. That's it. There is a spell we can get here, but I never remember which one it is. I guess we'll do it anyway. First thing we'll do is go in here and rest up. Alright, now, this here Push the switch. Switch doesn't budge. Check the planners in the center room. Will do. Let's do it. Planners in the center room. Don't need to rest up again. There's a note. Notepad in the room on the right. What if, like, the daisy chain of clues here, like, what if somebody stole the notepad? God damn it. Check the urn. Alright. You have to read the note before you check the urn. You can't find whatever's in the urn without checking the note first. And you can't find that book unless you check the urn. And then you go 6 down, 4 right, push what's on the wall, and now the switch opens the door. At long last. The mini spell. Okay, well that's probably not going to be super useful for us unless we roll White Mage as our 4th job. Which would be okay. But here we are. We're going to pop this door. Which is going to cause all kinds of fun stuff. What was their plan, by the way? They flew down here to return the Black Chocobo. But, like, what was their actual plan for getting out? The boat sank, dudes. Are they just going to live on this island now? With the black flames and the whatnot? But as it turns out, this is where our steamship landed. But next door to the steamship is another ship, and this one has propellers on it. Transparent plexiglass propellers arranged around that central mast. So once again, we are reunited with Sid and Mid. This, of course, is our airship. And Sid wants to get the airship up and running, but he's going to be like, we can't get the airship up and running until we get some adamantine. And please, 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 can you go get me some adamantine? I've wanted to build an airship since I was a small boy. Make all my dreams come true. So that's what we're going to do next. A lot of the end of World 1 is kind of chasing down just little mini-boss fights, actually. Oh, you know what? No, we don't have to get the adamantine to get the ship working. He gets the ship working right away. We need the adamantine for another reason. But there is a boss fight here, don't you worry. They're not going to give us just a free airship. I should have used that save point, I guess. Would have been the smart play. But this boss should not be too difficult. I know it's weak to thunder. I also don't think it's heavy, which means this should work. And so it does, so we stop. And let's just make sure we got thunder rods equipped to boost our thunder damage. No problem. We'll just keep him stun locked with the Bard and throw thunder at him, and it's already dead. Not much of a boss. Equip harps. So, any of the equip abilities, what I can do with that is give it to another job so that job can equip harps. It does just what it says on the tin, which would not be good. But whenever you get an equip ability and give it to another job, it also gives your current job the associated stats of the job of the ability. In this case, Bard. Equip harps is a Bard ability, if those stats are higher. Bard has one of the higher speed stats in the game, so Equip Harps is actually a pretty good sub-ability just for the agility boost. So we has airship now, and we fly back to Gone, which is over here somewhere. Here we go. There it is. But of course, no sooner than we get near the ruined city does something insane happen. Tremendous. So now we have to immediately fly back to Crescent Island, which is somewhere. Kind of follow these daisy chain of islands around. Here we go. And be like, hey, Sid! Hey, Mid! What's the deal here, kids? Now Sid's going to be like, go get me some adamantine. And of course, there's going to be another mini-boss guarding the adamantine. And of course, that boss is going to die very quickly. There are 4 such mini-bosses. One we're going to fight now, and then 3 more we're going to fight a little later. And I can never remember which one is where. One of the bosses is going to require a side jaunt, I believe. I don't think any of them are heavy, which means they can be hit with Death Claw, which means Blue Mage just completely destroys all of them. But one of them in particular has an on-death attack that I think will wipe me at these HP totals. But, which I can... fix. I don't think it's his first boss. I think it's coming later. What I'm doing now is just running in here and give it the good old save. Ooh, we're level 15 already. I don't want to go higher than 16 until we get... It's okay if we do, I guess, because... The blue magic spell I'm thinking of is level 4 Gravity. And the problem with level 4 Gravity is it's only going to work on an enemy that's not heavy. And if the enemy's not heavy, then it's almost... there's always better blue magic we can use. Level 5 Death or something like that. Alright, so we're going to fly to the Tycoon Meteor. Just in case it's the boss I'm thinking of. We'll drop that spell. Gallus should be able to get us inside with a hidden switch. Thank you, brah. The whole meteor's apparently made of this adamantine stuff, or powered by it. It's like a battery. I don't know how it works. The Final Fantasy lore does get a little bit dicey. It's just unobtainium. It's just like more plot spackle. That's all it is. It's MacGuffinite. We are attacked by the Adamantoise. Let's go ahead and... Lena's dead, that's fine. I think you can be stopped? No, you can't. I think you can be... Are you level 20 something? Oh, wait a minute, this is a bad idea. Didn't I just turn level 15? I thought my whole party's level 15. We are! How did that not kill me? Does level 5 death not hit your own party? I know it does in Final Fantasy VI. I guess it doesn't in this game. Which, okay. We'll take the easy win. Whatever. I'm going to, before we move on, though, I want to pick up some Phoenix Downs. So why don't we hit this city real quick? We'll get Lena back on her worthless princess feet. Ooh, do I want anything black magic-wise from here? I mean, there's really no reason to buy those. I've got the level 2 versions of all of those. If you would please... You don't have Phoenix Downs. Gosh darn it. Lix didn't have them. Will Karnak have them? Karnak, you are here. If I can find the item shop somewhere. You know, I should probably pick up a couple more rods, too, while I'm at it. Don't have an opportunity to buy rods in the second world. Yeah, here we go. I want to buy... You know what? I'm just going to buy 6. I'm just going to spend the whole shebang. Even if my 4th job is ninja, I don't think I want... Oh, that's not worth anything. Never mind. You know what? I'm not going to sell anything else. I don't know what I'm going to need, because I don't know what that last job is going to be. Okay, let's go get our airship. The idea here is we're getting the airship modified so it can fly up to the Gone Ruins. So we can find out what the haps is with good old King Tycoon. But before we do that, do have to modify the airship. So the next boss is the Soul Cannon. Soul Cannon also has a pretty powerful gravity-based attack. It's an attack that it charges up to use, and it always, always, always deals 50% of your max hit points. So 2 of them always kill you if you don't have a way to heal. However, the boss is very weak to lightning damage. So if you have any way of dealing lightning damage, black mages, ninjas, summoners can deal lightning damage at this point. Plus the Coral Sword, if you have it, which we do, also deals lightning damage. Outside of that, I don't think there's a way this early in the game to deal lightning damage except for breaking rods, which not everybody can do. We have 3 ways of dealing lightning damage. We can cast Thundara, we can break a rod, or we can use the Coral Sword. So this boss is not going to be a problem for us. But, boy howdy is it a problem for some parties. And we're probably going to learn a blue magic spell while we're in there. Actually, 2 blue magic spells. Because... let's just safety save here. We may or may not have to save scum here. I'm not sure if I want this blue magic or not. I'd rather have it than not have it, but it's really easy to get, so you might as well get it here. But these guys will use a blue magic spell on me. There it is. That's it. We just gotta get hit by that flamethrower, and then we can flamethrower. Oh, they don't have learning, though. I can fix that. I can give them learning so they can get it. How do you guys like water damage today? You into it? You're into it. If one of these would hit Gallop, I won't have to worry about it, but we'll have to see how that goes. I'm going to go ahead and Mighty March here. It's our only real healing for the moment. Oh, they have blue because I want them to have Vampire. That's right. That's why they're rocking blue magic for the moment. No question. But that thing will stay dead when we return. So we can just do this. Get our hit points back. I can give these dudes learning. Like so. Stay at the end, dirt cheap. There's a 50% chance you get those flamethrower robots, and there's a 50% chance you get some other kind of robot. If we don't get the flamethrower blue magic, I think it's a single target fire spell, which is like, why would you ever use a single target fire spell with your blue mage? But if we can get it on the list. Here's the problem. If we don't roll Beastmaster for our final job, we can't get a full blue magic list anyway. Some of the blue magic spells you just cannot get without being able to control your opponents. Beastmaster has an ability called Control that basically it charms an enemy, but instead of that enemy acting on their turn, it brings up a little command window with their various commands on it. That's the only way you can get some blue magics. These guys I think are going to start beating us with Missile, which is a blue magic spell. I don't know how super useful it is in general, but we'll probably end up getting Missile here. In fact, I wonder if I should go Mighty March with Forest to give them a chance to break out of this stop. Does Barson have a Thunder Rod? I feel like his Thunder is way worse than Lena's. He's got a Frost Rod, no wonder. This is why I wanted 2 Thunder Rods, because there are a couple bosses right in a row that are just weak to Thunder. With Crayclaw and these nerds. In fact, I'm going to sit here and wait for a minute to see if they hit me with Missile. I like how our airship's in the background. Like we jumped off the airship. Ooh, missed. Ooh, it hit the wrong person. So Missile is like a big gravity damage. Oh, it didn't do old. I guess Missile doesn't connect with old. That's... What are you doing? Wrong person. Stop hitting Forest. Now it's just a point of pride. There we go. That's the stuff. Alright, now we can finish these guys off. But basically, because Missile is gravity damage, it can't actually kill you. So with some parties, you just re-roll these fights until you get the rocket launchers, because those are the ones you can survive. And then over here... see if we survive some flamethrowers. We do not. Not worth using a Phoenix down in this fight, though. Goblin Punch should actually do some okay damage here because I've got the core. It doesn't matter that I got the Coral Sword equipped, apparently. Get some regen on now. But a ninja can throw fire or thunder scrolls, which would do a whole bunch of damage to these things. I guess we could try Era now that I'm out of Aqua Breath. Strong against air magic, okay. Just keep them locked down, because I don't want to see any more flamethrowers from these nerds. I don't really have anything that I can do with this Blue Mage. Get burned, apparently. Yeah, just attacking with the Coral Sword is the best option here, because I think they do have a weakness to Thunder. But because you can take these battles at your own pace, you can go heal up in between them if you want. They can turn out to be easy breezy. Sometimes people die anyway. We have Flamethrower now. There's one more of these guys, but we're not going in with dead peoples. As you can probably tell. Soul Cannon, I don't think we're going to have a problem with. We're just going to Thundara all day long. In fact, once my Black Mages learn Black level 3, they can cast those second tier Black Magic spells without being a Black Mage. And it might behoove me to switch over to a Blue Mage with the Black sub job instead. Or maybe not, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. That's the thing, is Blue Mage is a great job, but as far as synergy goes, like once you give somebody access to the blue command, you're pretty much set. Meanwhile, the Blue Mage itself doesn't really have anything to recommend it outside of its innate learning and ability to use blue magic. So you're not going to like create any, wait, 6 synergy, bro. using the blue mage. So it might just be better to leave black, as many people as possible for now on black mage. So I can get them up to black level 6 eventually. Not completely sure. Bard does synergize well, just because Sing is such an excellent like backup command to give to somebody. Not only that, but Equip Harps is good for an agility boosts, which can be crucial on some jobs. I don't think my blue and black mages are going to really need them, though. The agility in this party is going to be secondary to just putting out so much damage or going for cheesy boss strats. Alright, we should be able to go straight to Soul Cannon here. Yeah, there's black level 3, but I think I'd rather just leave him on black mage in order to pile up the ability points. And if someone gets to level 16, which is one level up in there, we can get like just a bonus blue magic at the end, which will be fine. I just want you to go for Mighty March right away, just to get some healing. So if we don't have any healing, the second Soul Cannon will completely wipe us out. But we want to get rid of these 2 launchers as soon as we can. That was pretty decent damage, all things considered. I was not expecting 400 damage off that Aqua Breath. So that should be both launchers, right? Nope, one of them came out. So now Bartz has the old status, which means his stats are going down. That's what those little missile things do. You're going to need to be healed, so I'm going to do that. I think I might be able to buy those now in licks if I have to. No more Aqua Breath. We're going to go with... You know what? We're just going to put you in the front row and have you attack with that Coral Sword. That's what we're going to do. If Soul Cannon does kill us and we have to kill it even faster, I can always just break some rods on it. But I think it's only got 10,000 hit points, so this should not actually be terrible. None of this is going to help us, so you can just defend. Thundara's going to bring us home, Daddy. Don't worry about it. I know for a fact we can survive the first Soul Cannon blast, then it's got to charge up the second one. We might get it even before the first blast. We are getting some work done here. I could have 3 people with Thundara if I had turned Bartz into a blue mage with the level 3 black magic ability. I could be throwing 3 Thundaras around right now instead of 2. So this will do 50% of everybody's max HP. And add some HP leak. But I don't think there's any way we're going to make it to that second blast. Yeah, you can see Bartz's damage output on Thundara is going way down. That's because of that old status. I just think on his black magic sprite, I don't think you can actually see a visual indicator that he's old. Because you need to be able to see somebody's hair turn gray. You cannot see Bartz's hair when he's a black mage. But you can see he's slowing way down and he's doing less damage. His level's going down in the background is what's happening. We might see that second Soul Cannon blast. I'm starting to get a little antsy here. Lenna's Thundara comes out first and takes us home. Looks like it did. Whew! If that hadn't killed it, we would have eaten that second blast and been wiped out. Alright. The next thing we need to do, the next thing we need to do is go outside and hit the end one last time. I should get, like, frequent flyer perks this hotel, I think. Lord knows I've been here enough. I want to see how many tents I have, because I'm going to be... The thing about the next dungeon is I'm not scared of any of the monsters there, but I don't have a good way to actually just run quickly from battles. I've got 3 tents. I'm going to actually buy another couple tents. Potions even worth buying? I don't know. Let's buy 2 extra tents. Because if I really need to heal, I can do it with Vampire. Because there are some blue magic spells in here that we want to learn. And I don't want to go higher than level 16. Because that'll give me an extra blue magic spell that I will never cast. Ever. So when I see battles like this, I'm just gonna haul booty. I'm gonna load all my booty up into a briefcase and haul it on out of there. I'll see if I can remember how to get all the treasures in this dungeon without screwing it up. Don't want anything to do with those guys. Can Blue Mage wear the Glodden armor? He cannot. This place is a maze, and it has lots of secret passages that we can't see because we don't have a thief. How do we get to that box? Now I want to go up to that 3rd path there. These guys! Alright, so I want to kill one of these guys. So let's go ahead and do this, first of all. I don't know what we're going to kill him with, so we'll just go with Thundara at first. How about you? Can you do the same thing, please? Not bad. Alright, so we're going to defend. Now, I think if we confuse this thing, we might get it to use White Wind on my party, which is a great healing spell. But we might need it controlled, not confused. If that's the case, it will never use White Wind on us. Okay, so it's going to do that to itself. And probably run itself out of MP eventually. There might not be enemies in this game. There we go. Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted. Booyah, that's great. So we know this thing has 1,000 hit points because White Wind always heals for however many hit points you currently have. So that is one of the most useful blue magic spells you can possibly get. That's a great, great, great healing spell. And now I'm not worried over my HP total. I do want to see how much White Wind costs, though. Where it be at? There it is. 28 MP. Not gonna lie, fam, that's a lot of MIPS. Oh, do I want to go up this way, maybe? Yeah, there we go. There's one more fight we're gonna look for in here. I kind of don't care if I get all the treasures in here, because I don't think I'm going to be able to equip any of them. Or not, don't want to say any of them, but all of them, unless I roll Knight, because I think most of it's golden equipment, which is all heavy armor. I think if I go up these stairs, though... One of these is the way forward, one of these is just a way to more treasure, and I'm not sure which is which, ever. I also don't know what's over here. We got the important blue magic I was looking for, so... Oh, I guess there's a path down here, too. Which goes back up to treasure. Yeah, okay. So I did want to take that route first. Not a golden shield. Ah, we can equip that. It's good for 30% evasion. That's not bad at all. And these guys are pretty easy to run from, so... getting that run counter up, that's for sure. This fight here. Okay, we want to kill these stone masks, and I'm not really sure how we're going to do that, because I don't really know what they like and what they don't like. I'm going to stick with Thunder and see what that does. They definitely didn't like that at all. Let's Goblin Punch this one here. Thunder this one. This Lamia is exactly who we want. No, don't entice. Okay, that didn't land. That's good. We don't want anybody charmed. We want them stopped for now. But the Lamia does have our next blue magic spell on the roster. And I think we just wait for her to cast it now that she's alone. And whoever she hits with this spell is going to die, so we need to revive them before the end of the fight. Okay, paralyzed. That's nice. We're evading her standard attacks. I hope that Entice doesn't hit anybody ever. I might end up healing at some point in this fight if she doesn't use this attack quickly enough. Otherwise, her regular attacks will eventually just kill me. Ooh, that's not good. Alright, so we're going to remove the Coral Sword. Okay, good. Oh, you know what? We can do Mighty March, actually. There's no reason not to just be sitting here with regen. I'm pretty sure she will eventually use some blue magic for us. Maybe she won't. Maybe I have the wrong enemy. Anything is possible in this workaday world of ours. Entice is definitely not doing anybody any favors. Slap is... okay, I'm not super upset about Slap. Kind of surprised Faris even has a weapon, considering we're not... she's a bard, so there's not much we're going to do with her. So... this might be a situation where she has the spell but will never use it unless we control her with a Beastmaster. Which would be... bad. Looks like she's not going to do it. Looks like it's just going to be Entice all day long. All day, every day. Let's try Confuse her. See if that does anything for me. She did not care about being confused, that's for sure. Well, I guess we'll just finish her off then. What's really upsetting is, after we roll our last job, even if it's Beastmaster, we won't have access to this dungeon to come back here. Which is really too bad. Well, okay, we learned something new here. We can't get this... if it's the right monster at all. It might not even be the right monster. Sure, you can carry a Mithril Knife. Faris doesn't have any accessory to carry. Now I forgot which way I was facing. Okay, this is good. a quick save point. Probably not a bad idea. So we're on track to get all the treasures out of here for now. And here's one more save point even a little further in this dungeon. Which way goes to treasure and which way goes further in the dungeon? That is always the question with these kinds of situations. A high potion. Like, that room looks pretty good over there. Let's try to get over there to that room. Might be real, real nice. It's that middle section we don't want to be in just yet. This looks like it's a way through the dungeon, though. This looks like it's not going to take us to more treasure. You know what? Sometimes these creatures... Maybe if you give... Hold on, I'm going to try something, actually. Let's get Mighty March up. She might not have enough MP to cast the spell I want her to cast. Sometimes you do have to do something like this. Give the enemy an ether. Let's give her a few rounds of that. See if we see anything more useful come out. Or if we're just going to be entice all the way down. If only I could speed her up a little bit. I see, Entice might not even use MP. Sometimes these special enemy attacks don't even use MP. I don't know enough about the Lamia in specific to answer that question one way or the other. But I know that we don't want Galuf to be confuzzled. Let's try to get her confused. Maybe that'll... Maybe you gotta damage her first? I don't know. I've tried all the tricks that I know concerning blue magic. I know they're super easy to run from. We might just be out of luck without the Beastmaster. That seems to be the actual case. Also, I forgot to put my Thunder Rod back on Lena. Let's do that real quick. Ha. Yeah, okay, so that's... I'm gonna say that's the way forward. We need to backtrack and get some treasure. One of the worst jobs in the game is the Geomancer. Geomancer basically... It's a terrible job, but doesn't synergize with anything. It has a special attack which uses a spell from like a random spell list that is decided by the terrain you're fighting on, by which usually means like what battle background are you looking at. Each battle background has a different spell list associated with it. Geomancer is bad basically everywhere. There's really nowhere in the game where a Geomancer is a good thing to have in your party. This dungeon, the Ronkin Ruins, is an exception. Geomancer destroys this whole dungeon. They get a spell called Wind Slash here, which is a multi-target wind elemental attack. And it wrecks shop all through the hizzy. Down here, this will take us to... But there's going to be holes everywhere. Which is the other use for Geomancer. Geomancer doesn't fall into those holes. Oh god, where am I now? Oh, I didn't go over this way. That's because it's a dead end. There is nothing over this way. I'm so mad at Lamia right now. So upset. Question is, am I going to fall in the same hole multiple times as I go through here? That's what everybody really wants to know. That's safe? Safe? This must be safe. Nice. So now I have a sword that inflicts old. So let's go ahead and put that on. I also have a power armlet. Good for strength, but not much else. And this is not really a strongly party, if that makes sense. We're not trying to win any strength competitions here. Ooh, this is not good. Not what we want to see right now. Black Mage is in the front row. This is not a drill. Alright, so I'm going to... get 2 potions to Gallif, and then in the next fight we'll use White Wind. That'll be kind of a full party heal. We'll kind of reset the situation a little bit. Either that or we'll make it to the next save point. I guess we'll just Thundara through here. Yeah, we can try to run now. I'd have to stop and level up to get the next math spell. This should go to a save point right here, I think. It's why I bought those extra tents. For right here. So we will try to hit 16 with somebody then. So we come out of here with the extra blue magic, since I couldn't get the Lamia one that I wanted, because I don't have Beastmaster. I actually don't want Beastmaster. As a class, Beastmaster is not good. We'll fight the Lady Cakes here. See if we can hold her. That'd be fun. Haha, now she's old. Now she's an old, terrible Lamia. How far away am I from level 16? We need 126. About 100 experience points and change. That's the wrong way. That's the way I came from. Let's get back on track here. All turned around in this dungeon. It's embarrassing. So up through the door here. And then back around. There should be 2 exits from this floor, one of which takes me to treasure. Yeah, this down here should go to the boss. The stairs up here should go to treasure. Hydras are pretty powerful, as I recall, so I don't want to mess with them if I don't have to. Oh, I got my ether back. Yeah, you could catch a glimpse of King Tycoon up there. Alright, so we don't want to be on this floor just yet. Let's go ahead and get one more level. We'll run back to the save point. Get somebody just a good old level up. Have some Romeo's Ballad, my friends. We can go ham on this fight because we're about to take the full heal anyway. I want to sit on Bartz's turn to make sure that Lena's Thunder Spell deals damage first. just in case none of these nerds absorb thunder damage. And somebody does. Let's single target then for now. Nothing else matters because Romeo's Ballad is the best move in the game, more or less. So these guys can't hit us even if they wanted to. Just a matter of what will hit this Hydra. Water does. Thunder does not. I think Ice is the only other rod we've got. I do need to buy some rods before I leave the first world. So don't let me forget to do that. You can't buy them in the second world. Alright, we're fine with Ice. Aqua Breath is over. Let's try to ult this thing. There it is. So old. Problem is I've only got one Frost Rod, so I can only boost ice damage on one of my mages. I don't want a Mighty March here, because if I spend the turn to Mighty March, Hydra might get a turn, and I'm pretty sure they've got some nasty attacks that I don't want to see. That I don't even want to play with, you heard? I don't think I can get the added effect of Old if I use Goblin Punch, though. I think Goblin Punch is just going to do the damage. Which is too bad. Alright, lots of level 16s. You know, let's go get the blue magic spell now. I can run from everything else until then. Not if I get back attacked by a Hydra. We're still in there. Okay. This again. Wow, Bart's almost ate it. I'll have Galuf White Wind in the fight we get to here. But on this is the last floor, right? Yeah, this is the last floor. That's the man I'm looking for. So I want to hit you with a Phoenix Down. That should kill it instantly because it's undead. And then when it dies, it should use level 4 Graviga, which hits everybody who's multiple of level 4. And everybody's got learning, so now I know that. And I get my Phoenix Down back. Excellent. And everybody is very close to dead. Maybe I didn't think that through terrifically. Here's what I'm going to do then. I don't need to learn for a little while, so I'm going to put blue on. And we'll vampire our way in the next fight if need be. That's what we'll do. Yeah. I want to make sure to get that spell because this next boss, the blue magic spell I was trying to get from the Lamia, well, Bart's is fine. He's gone. We're just going to live with it. Is called 1,000 Needles, and it always does 1,000 points of damage. I didn't realize you need a Beastmaster to get it, though. Because if I had it, the next boss would be super comfy because I could just throw 1,000 Needles at it, and it can't defend against it. But it's gonna be able to defend against it. So I'm gonna try to inflict Old with the Ancient Sword. And then we're gonna have to just try to pulverize it with magic and stay alive with White Wind. There comes a point in the fight where I'll be able to insta-kill it with level 5 Death. But that's not at the start of the fight. That's the wrong way. I'm pretty sure I got all the treasures out of here. I'd be upset to learn that I didn't. Alright, show me that boss. We are going to... Can I stop you? I don't think you're heavy. which means you might be able to be stopped. Let's try it. No. Okay. So I think the way this fight works is it starts out either strong to magic or very weak to magic, and I'm not going to know until I hit it with... So it starts out weak to magic, which is good for us. I need 22 magic points to cast level 5 Death later. So what am I going to do with your turns? I want to try to ult this boss, because I don't think it's heavy. I think if we can manage to hit it with ult... But you'll see our Thundaras will be doing less and less damage as the fight goes on, as the boss progresses through various forms. Let's just go ahead and get some regen on. See, this is what I didn't want to see, but everybody's got blue. So I'll use Galif's turns to get the full heal back. I don't want anybody going under like 200 health here, I don't think. But I'm only going to have a couple of these, because I do need to cast level 5 Death at some point. Yeah, the stop's just not coming out. Oh, I can cast level 5 Death with the Black Mages too, though, because everybody's got blue right now. But you can see where Thousand Needles would be more helpful here than anything else we're doing. And I feel like we've advanced to the second phase of the fight now, because our spells are doing slightly less damage. As the fight progresses and the boss goes through its phases, it increases its magic defense and decreases its physical defense. So we're just kind of trying to punch through it right now. Let's take a look at that physical defense with Glabo Punch. I want you out of here. Why not? You're not helping. So beat it. And once this boss is dead, then we can find out what our Earth job is. I'm excited. All I gotta do is hit reload over here on good old Google Chrome, and it will tell me. Can I get away with one of these early in the fight? I think I can, before its magic defense gets too low. Just stay gone, Forrest. Yeah, if you've got good damage output, this boss... This is another boss that some parties are just going to have big problems with if you just don't have the correct kind of damage output. But I don't think we're going to have any difficulties at all, even without the 1,000 needles. I want to save your magic points, I think, to deal with stuff like that. You know what? I'm going to have you cast White Wind. I want to see as little of that lightning as possible. Oh, it's getting healed by lightning damage now. Okay, so it's definitely gone into a new phase of fight. Which should mean that Goblin Punch should do some decent damage now. Yeah, it's moving up in damage, but that's going to leave our Black Mages with very, very little to do. Unless it doesn't get healed by ice damage? Question mark? Okay, ice damage is still good. For now. So Goblin Punch and ice damage it is for a little while. Regen is doing a good job just keeping up with the incidental damage we're taking, which is actually a little surprising. I thought I would have to use a lot more White Wind than this. So the middle part of the fight is going to drag a little bit as our magic damage is going to be way down, and then the only physical damage we have worth speaking of is Goblin Punch, which is not terrific. So this should be the final phase now. The problem with the final phase is, I don't know if its level is 20 or 25, but in any event, it's divisible by 5, which means something, obvious thing. Farewell, Archeoavis. Alright, let's go get that Earth Crystal. This is the only crystal that had not had a modern civilization built on top of it. I guess nobody found the Earth Crystal through years and years of archaeological research? Question mark? Is that a thing? I guess that's a question, one of the many, many backstory questions never answered in Final Fantasy V's lore, is did the various kingdoms of the world build their kingdoms on top of the crystals, wherever they happen to be, or were the crystals found and unearthed and taken to places? Because Waltz and Karnak were built right on top of the crystals. They're in the actual castles. No, they weren't. Waltz's crystal's in that tower. Only Karnak was really on top of the crystal. I guess that supports the former, then. Because Tycoon's wind crystal was in a shrine kind of across the lake from them. And it's just Karnak that was feeding power into the steamship. So Galuf got his memory back. And this is his adorable granddaughter, Kryl. Kryl will be a party member later on. She will join our party late in the second world. So we've got a ways to go. But for now, this Earth Crystal's got to blow up, and we got to get some Earth Crystal jobs. Which means long cutscene. And while this long cutscene is playing, I will go to Google Chrome and I will push my refresh, not reset, not going to reset Google. I guess reset works too. My fourth job is Time Mage. That is a really strong job. Let me think about this. This will be my second Fiesta having Time Mage. So we have a very magic-oriented party. I'm going to have to do some flying around. I don't know what time magic spells are available and where. Time Mage is really weak early on. Well, not really, because they could break rods. If you play the way I do with all the jobs unlocked from the beginning, Time Mage would be terrible very early on, because before you get rods, before you can get to Karnak. You'd have to go through that Garula fight, the Magisa fight, with just Time Mages. But you know what? I've done that with just Bards, and I'm pretty sure Time Mages can equip knives, which means you're not going to have a harder time than Bards. Also, you might be able to get Time Magic in Waltz. That might be the first place where you can buy Time Magic spells, because you unlock Time Mage in the water tower near Waltz. In any event, Galuf's going to leave our party here in a minute, so we're not going to be able to have our full party with full jobs. We're only going to have 3 of our jobs, and I'm not sure if I even want to use Time Mage right now. I might prefer to stick with Black-Blue Bard for the next couple fights. Yeah, not really sure. We are going to need Bards for a supplement. Yeah, I think I will go with... There's 3 little mini-boss fights we have to go through, and I think I'd rather just go in with Bard and try to get that job mastered on Faris as early as possible. And so the 3 boss fights, probably good for a handful of ABPs for each one, probably 7 or 10 or whatever it is. So we'll probably get a good number of ABPs for those 3 fights. So we might just not use Time Mage yet. I still want to take a trip around to the We'll check Waltz and Karnak. I don't think it has time magic. Lix and Istari and Crescent all might have time magic spells. The really good time magic spells don't come until World 2. I don't think we get access to Haste or Comet until World 2. And then the best time magic spell is Quick, which just breaks the whole game. There's so much broken, dumb stuff you can do with Quick. In fact, I think I talked about the super bosses in the last video, Omega and Shinryu. I saw an Omega strat that used Quick and abused, it does like a game exploit. The Quick spell gives you 2 actions in rapid succession. Like, you cast Quick on a target, then that target's next turn, you take an action, then it is immediately that target's turn again. And that puts the entire battle into a unique state, because the battle can't continue until that target picks their next action. The reason being, like, if the ATB was still running and the enemies were, like, attacking you while you were picking 2 actions in a row, you don't really get any benefit of the Quick spell. So after the quicked person's first attack and before their second action, the battle's in a unique state where nobody else can act. But some background stuff can still happen. Poison ticks still happen in the background. So if you can poison a monster and then use Quick to get the battle in that state, you can just put the controller down and the monster will die eventually. It'll just run out of hit points. And you can actually kill Omega that way. Or maybe it was Shinryu you could kill that way. One of the two. It took hours, though. I think I did it on stream once, just because it's kind of I learned about it. I did it on stream, just kind of a proof of concept. And I think while it was ticking away in the background, I did an entire Final Fantasy IV free Enterprise seed in the time it took. It was pretty silly. I'm going to hammer my way through this cutscene as quickly as I can. To get back to the fun stuff. But yeah, we're going to have to do a little bit of shopping for Time Mage. I want to buy more rods. Time Mage is... The only way Time Mage can deal damage is going to be break rods. So when I set a Time Mage, I have 2 black mages that have black level 3. So that's going to be my Time Mage. It's going to be Time and then black level whatever. Ooh, maybe I will set a Time Mage then to start getting Time Mage ABPs on one character from these 3 bosses. And then not have a Bard. I don't know. I think what's going to end up happening is I'm going to have 2 like purely mage characters that'll just have both the Time and Black Mage levels. That'll just have the other type of magic as their sub-ability. Possibilities are opening. The possibilities are opening in several different ways. The next thing I have to do is survive an Earthquake spell. One of the bosses coming up is Titan, and Titan ends combat with an Earthquake spell. And I don't think I'm just going to be able to survive it right out of the gate. So, we do have to... We're not allowed to have 2 black mages anymore. And I'm going to need a... I can cast blue magic without a blue mage. Yeah, you know what? We're going to go with a Time Mage, a black mage, and a bard here. We're going to go with a Time Mage with blue. And then black mage with blue. And then a bard. There's no more blue magic that we can learn right now. We have to do a little bit of shopping. I guess we'll go to Crescent first, actually. Oh, there's a little spoiler. What's in this castle here, huh? Huh? What indeed? When we go to Karnak, I'm going to buy a second Frost Rod and a second Fire Rod. In case I want to do those kinds of damage in the second world. Can Time Mage equip the Heal Staff? One other benefit of having our 4th job is we now know what equipment we can just sell and get rid of. We know what in our inventory we can convert to gil. You can equip a staff. Not only does that mean can we use the healing staff here, but we'll be able to cast Holy in the second worlds. Huga Shaka. Okay, let's see here. I don't really want any of these. Okay, so nothing from here, but we need to talk to Sid. I think really low-level time magic just isn't that useful, but once I leave the first world, I'm not going to be able to buy it again for a little while at least, so... A little bit of shopping, a little bit of mini-boss hunting, and then we'll head off to the second world. How does that sound? And with any luck, we'll get there before the 2-hour mark in this video. So the idea here is that we need a chunk of adamantine from each of the other meteors in order to do the next thing we need to do. Let's save this here. $385 hit points. This is not enough to survive Earthquake, so we're going to have to make a sojourn to the Elsewhere land first. Alright, so step 1, we're going to go to Walls. It's up north here. Somewheres-ish. I will find the magic shop here. There is a magic shop here somewhere, I am confident. It probably has a sign outside with a king on it. Maybe it doesn't. Okay, it's going to be over there. So there's a side quest here in Waltz in the castle where you can go and fight Shiva and get the Shiva spell. And elsewhere you can get the Rama spell. Oh yeah, it's right here. I did not know it was this early. Alright. Yeah, haste. Excellent, excellent spell. You know what? I don't need to buy regen. And that's not going to be helpful. I might have a use for it very, very late in the game, but at that point I'll be able to buy it again. So I'm only going to buy what I need for now. What level is that? Haste, level 2. Okay, I thought haste was level 4, honestly. So haste is a good spell. Really good. What was I talking about? I was talking about... Ah, yes, we need to go up here. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to survive Titan's Earthquake. The only way to really survive it is if I have a team that's floating. The float spell is... You don't get it. It's time magic. We'll be able to get it, but we're not going to be able to get it until until the second world. There's like a little mini game we got to do in one of the castles or something. However, we have a way to confuse opponents because we have a bard. So we're going to go up here. If you remember this mountain, and we're going to find these Galicats. And then we are going to wait. And we can keep confusing them as much as we need. Ideally, we would find a battle with more than one Galicat, but... It's okay. What's happening here is okay. Eventually, the Galicat will get an action. And one of its actions might be to cast the float spell on us. At which point it will target only one character. Well, that's not helpful. That's not what we want to see. That's the other thing that the Galicat can do. is Cat Scratch Fever. Wonder if I should haste it so it gets more turns. Honestly. No, that's probably too much of a thing. We'll just sit on Forrest's turn, so when one of these dudes punches the other one awake. There we go. Alright, now we're floating and we can leave. That's all we need. So this just means that Forrest and only... Oh, you know what? I didn't need to do this. I could have had Forrest hide in the Titan fight. And then I wouldn't need to be floating at all. Well, whatever. One way or another, Forrest is going to be the only person that survives that fight. Otherwise, we have all the magic we're going to need. Let's go fight some mini-bosses. There's 3 mini-bosses, and we finish up World 2. Let's go to... one of them's right here. Say hi to our dragon friend. I am going to save before each one. Obviously, I'm going to do that. One of these fights is going to be Titan. Titan's going to kill everybody, but... Forest... Oh, no, I got to go to the Tycoon Meteorite first. For another little cutscene. So because I have the heal staff now, or rather somebody that can equip it, I can equip the heal staff, and then whoever I attack with the heal staff gets a tick of healing. So even in battles where my Time Mage is not going to be useful for dealing damage, they are going to be a good auxiliary character because I can get a nice tick of healing from each one. We're trying to master space travel here, by the way, is what's happening. We're going to harness the power of this adamantine and these meteorites to travel to Galuf and Kryle's worlds. Because what happened is Galuf and Kryle left, and we're like, you guys need to stay here. And we're like, okay. And then as soon as they left, we're like, you know what? I want to go with them. So instead of just taking 5 minutes and talking it out, now we have this whole other set of hoops to jump through. Well, fine. Well, fine. So this does mean we're not going to get a full Blue Mage list because we don't have a way to control. And where am I at? I've gone way too far. Way too far. There's walls. Down here. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Everybody say hi to the dragon. So each time we go to a meteorite, there's 3 of them. And each time Sid and Min are going to be like, ah, there's bosses around. What a jerk. So these bosses, we're going to learn some blue mage. No, we're not. We don't have a blue mage. Never mind. We need to sing Romeo's Ballad. Each of these guys is going to try to explode on us, so what we're going to do is Deathclaw each of them. So when they finally do explode, they're only going to do like 1 or 2 damage. But sometimes Deathclaw doesn't hit. And when Deathclaw doesn't hit, that's bad news for us. I think it's also pretty expensive of a spell. We might have to come in this battle with 3 blue mages. Forrest might have to be a blue mage for this to work properly. Yeah, we're already running out of some MP here. The idea is when they start exploding on us, they're going to deal them out of damage equal to their leftover hit points. So we want to damage them as much as possible without killing them. Because if we kill one, its companions can just bring them back to life. We have the first 3, I think. So now I want this one. Oh, we're getting lucky with the Deathclaws now. And from this point, I don't think we can lose the fight. I think... because 2 of them can still explode on us for big damage, but the other 4 can't. So no matter what, we're going to leave this battle in this state with at least one person alive. And if we manage to Deathclaw all of them... Where's Deathclaw? There it is. I have an ether here. I don't have an ether. Yeah, I do. I have one. Yeah, let's just try it. You know, because if I go somewhere to like refill my hit points and stuff after this fight, we're gonna lose that float status anyway, I think. Anyway, now it's just a matter of waiting until the bombs start blowing up on us. So, yeah, this is it. Get out of here. I actually don't know what the speed spell does. I think it just like raises your agility by 1 point, maybe? I don't know. I'll probably never cast it. Right now they're all paralyzed because of Deathclaw, but eventually they'll come back. And they'll start exploding. There it is. That is blue magic. We can learn that. But we don't have anybody right now with learning. And that's okay. Should have put on some regen, I guess. Can you Mighty March us, please? Thank you. So if you kill one and it's dead, all the other ones will try to revive it. So you either have to kill all 6 of them at once, which is something this party could probably pretty easily do by targeting black magic at all of them. Or make them self-destruct. They have like 1,400 hit points. So if they're at max hit points when they self-destruct, that's 1,400 damage they're doing. Or you just let them do this. They all have 4 hit points right now. They're all going to blow up on us. Now you can bail now, for sure. We're all regen. For some reason, if they self-destruct, their companions will not try to revive them. Ah, the healing staff. Quite a lot of healing, actually. So from this position, I cannot lose this fight. It's not possible. So I think even if we have to lose float status by going to an inn, with Bard, we can just have Faris hide. Ah, I didn't have to do that whole silly thing with the cats anyway. I guess I'm glad I got to show it off. Not every Fiesta party can do that. It's kind of a cool thing, I guess. Come on, you're the last one. You're the last one, Haas. Let's pack it in. The thing is, I think if I kill this one by hand, it'll cast the revive spell and revive all the other 5. It's really obnoxious. Or we just wait it out. I got nowhere to be. We're on your schedule, Mr. Bob-omb friend. Whatever you want. I've got infinite uses of this heal staff. We got regen up. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just my time to shine, yo. And there we go. Not a problem. See, I think I am going to pop a tank, because I kind of was not expecting to use that much MP, and I think using the tent is going to remove that float status. Maybe it won't. I know going to an inn will. And using like a healing pot will. Yeah, that did. That removed the float status. But we shouldn't need it, actually. So next we're going to go over here to the Karnak Meteor. And we'll see how it goes. Titan, I think, is the only one of the 4 meteor bosses that is heavy. So we're not going to use, like, Deathclaw shenanigans. We're going to have to fight him. We're going to have to fight him honestly, which is to say, get the Bard out of here. Haste the Black Mage, and what are you equipped with? A Thunder Rod. Go Thundar on him. As much as possible. Would have been nice to have 1,000 needles for this fight, but eh. And then you're on healing duty, I do believe. See, that's the move that... I thought he only used that as a death move. That turned out to not be the case. And I can't win this fight now, so Faris is going to slit her own throat. No, that's going to take way too long. Alright. I thought he could only use that Earthquake move as, like, when he's dead. 0 HP, use that. That's not the case, so we are going to have to go back and do cat shenanigans, and we're going to have to get float on everybody, it looks like. So I think what I'm going to do is go to Karnak and buy the rods that I want. Do the 3rd meteor. Karnak is... here it is. Get 1 Flame Rod, 1 Frost Rod. So I got 2 of each. Because I'm probably not going to have more than 2 Black Casters in the party at a given time anyway. This last mini-boss down here should not give me any difficulty at all, I don't think. But we are going to have to get float. Because yes, Hyde did protect me from Earthshaker, but that was only going to work if that was his, like, death move. You heard? This boss, I'm pretty sure, can be Deathclawed. Look familiar? It can be stopped, and I'm pretty sure it can also be Deathclawed. No problem. So now just any kind of attack should kill it. Any kind of attack? There it goes. Gonna have to go back to the mountain. Gonna have to do a silly cat fight. Fair enough. Is there any more shopping that I want to do in World 1? I don't think so. I think having 2 each of the elemental rods puts me in a decent position. I don't think any of the magic rings are going to be helpful for this group. I don't think we're going to need their protection. One of them absorbs fire, one of them absorbs water, and the third one is for very particular kinds of defensive attacks. It blocks like old status and zombie status. So yeah, I think once we have our float here, you know what? I'm gonna try to find a version of this fight that has multiple cats. I know the word Jellicle means something. only because I've watched so many YouTube videos talking about how horrible that movie is and why it got made anyway. You know what, just one of them might be okay. The problem is I don't think it can cast float multiple times. There's one. So Forest is floating. And eventually it's just going to kill itself. But this way we don't have the rock slugs wasting our time. It's sad just watching a flying cat commit suicide right in front of you. And it's not like... It's an enterprising cat. Like, he built those wings so he could fly. He wasn't born with wings. He was a cat with a dream. There's a similar trick you can do in World 2, I believe. The problem here... Oh, I guess we can use Goblin Punch on these. I was going to say, the problem here is taking these guys out without magic points. So I don't have a way to refresh my magic points without also getting rid of the float status. But Goblin Punch isn't doing anything, so I think we can safely run from this cat and look for the third one now. Or just give Lena up for dead, but I'm disinclined to do that. I need float to hit Lena, please, if you don't mind. Excellent. Bye. Now Titan can't do anything to us at all. Okay. And like I said, I do think Titan is heavy. So we're not doing crazy Deathclaw shenanigans against him. We're going to have to fight him honestly. But now that we've neutered his main attack, if we slap regen on, we should have no trouble burning up his hit points. This island has always intrigued me. There's nothing on it. You can't do anything there. But it is there. Alright, take two. Good old Titan. So, glancing at my blue magic list over here, there's one not important blue magic spell we did miss out on. Biblos, who we destroyed when we fought him. Oh my goodness. But he's got a blue magic spell called Magic Hammer that he can use. That we're not going to need. It like reduces their MP totals, enemy MP totals. That's not something super helpful for us. I don't think there's any enemies we're going to have to run out of magic in this run. That is a strat you do have to use in some cases, but I don't think we're going to have to. I don't think I can Romeo's Ballad this guy, can I? Oh, I guess he's not heavy. Woohoo! Shows what I know. I wonder if I get better damage with a fire-rotted Flamethrower out of Bart's right now. Let's give it a try. Yeah, that's not bad. And there was his on-death Earthshaker move. So the other summon spells, we're not getting... You have to get Ifrit. We have Ifrits. Rama, you find, is a kind of a random encounter. Up near East Tori. And then Shiva is in Walls, and that's everything you can get in World 1. And speaking of everything you can get in World 1, we just need to go to the spot on the map where those 4 blinkety blanks are happening. In, up here somewhere, right? Yeah, here we go. This curiously, somewhat kind of Bahamut-shaped landmass is the portal to World 2, which is where we'll jump in at the beginning of next episode. Thanks for watching. See you next Saturday.